And welcome back to Mark My Words Football Podcast with Rob and Scott. And this is a special Thanksgiving edition. It's just going to be me giving you our picks for the Thanksgiving Day games. We're going to have the full episode, should be available on Saturday, breaking down all the action across the league and predicting the full slate of Sunday games. But today it'll just be me and giving you the Thanksgiving Day predictions here. And if you like the podcast, feel free to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify. The viewership and support is greatly appreciated. So, yes, Thanksgiving Day, the best day in the NFL season, where you have 3 games going on a Thursday. You got a 12 o'clock game, a 12:30 game, a 4:30 game, and an 8:20 game. And the 12:30 game, we have the Bills at the Lions. So 12:30 on Thanksgiving has a history of some bad football, as the Lions play at that time every single year. However, this year it poses to be a bit of a better game, as the Lions have looked pretty good these last few weeks. The offense has kind of been revitalized. Jamal Williams leading the league in touchdowns among running backs. So Lions are on a bit of a roll here. I believe they won the 3 of their last 4 games. Actually, they won their last 3. So, yes, they're rolling. Bills, after having a couple down weeks, looking a little bit better, had a good win against the Browns. And me and Scott both have the Bills taking this game. They just played in Detroit on Sunday. Went home, practiced, coming right back to play the Lions here. Should be a really good game. Exciting. Hopefully, we're going to see an offensive battle. I would expect both teams to be close to the 30-point mark, if not over it for both teams. So looking forward to an exciting matchup there. And look, I think the strength of both of these teams is running the ball. And I know that seems weird because Josh Allen on the Bills, of course. But I think the Bills' running game is the most underrated running game in the entire league. Put some respect on Devin Singletary's name. He's been balling out all year whenever they give him the opportunity. I think they need to give the ball to him more because motor, man, he can really motor. And it seems like whenever he has the ball, good things happen. And then you have James Cook, who has really improved over the course of this year, especially last game, had a pretty good game. And I think, the Bills, they just need to dial it back a little bit. Stop, you don't need to depend on Josh Allen for everything. I think if they just kind of relax, take the game a little bit more patiently, run the ball, and then release Josh Allen a little bit later, get him in a rhythm. You don't need to go full bombs away right out of the gate. I think that it benefits them to kind of ease into it. Don't put all the pressure on Josh Allen because you don't need to. I think that'll be a good formula for success. And obviously, they have one of the best passing games in the league when they're rolling, so obviously you want to use that as much as you can. But there's something to be said, I think, for establishing the run first and then going to the pass for the Bills, which was kind of the formula for success last game against the Browns. But, I think the Bills will do enough here against the Lions to get the job done, as they are the more talented team in all phases of the game. But it should be an exciting matchup nonetheless. And then we got the 4 o'clock game between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And me and Scott both have Dallas taking this game. Dallas kind of had the perfect game last week against Minnesota, winning, I think it was 40-3. And yeah, they're rolling, juices are flowing. And I just kind of had an observation that I thought of when watching that game, and I just want to air it out right now. I think the Bills and the Cowboys are the same team in different conferences. And I know this is a bit of an odd take, and hopefully Bills Mafia doesn't come and raid my house, but I think they're kind of the same team except in different conferences. You'd look at the quarterbacks, very similar playing style. I think Josh Allen obviously is better than Prescott, but it's not by a lot. Very similar style. They both got big arms, both can run, both physical. Obviously Josh Allen more physical, but you get the point. They have very similar playing styles. When they're on, they are on. They can throw for 400-plus yards and 4 touchdowns. When they're off, they are off. They can lose you the game. They can throw very bad throws, some head scratchers. So very similar there. And then you have the defense and both teams have been very good this year, but do you have those moments where they're just head-scratching moments? Like, how did we give up 4th and 20? How did we give up 3rd and 25? Stuff like that. And when these teams are on and having good days, they're as good as any team in the league. When they're off, they can just look really, really disoriented. And then you got the receiving team. The receiving core, very similar for both teams. You got that established number one guy in Diggs and CeeDee Lamb. And behind that, you're just not really enough. Gabe Davis really hasn't taken that next step this year, in my opinion. And Gallup for the Cowboys, not really who you want as your number 2. And look, both these teams, number 1 and number 2 to land Odell Beckham Jr. I think both of them would really benefit from that. And the running game, very underrated for both teams. I think the Cowboys and the Bills are better when they run the ball more. So, yes, just kind of an observation I had there when watching those games last week. Kind of the same team in different conferences. Obviously, I think the Bills are a bit better overall than the Cowboys, but very similar style of play from both of those teams. That being said, Cowboys should get the win here over the Giants. Giants losing to the Lions. Credit to Scott for getting that game right. He got the Bills and the Lions game right last week. Maybe the Giants are regressing to the mean after a strong start. We'll see. But, good divisional matchup here on Thanksgiving. 4:30, and we both have the Cowboys winning. Then you got the primetime matchup between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings at 8:20 Thanksgiving night, Thursday Night Football. And this game, I do have the New England Patriots coming out on top, and Scott has the Minnesota Vikings rebounding after the loss to the Cowboys. So it's in Minnesota on Thursday night. I'm just thinking about Kirk Cousins' primetime history. It's not good. I'm thinking, okay, they had a bad week. And you kind of saw how Dallas destroyed them. Maybe I think Bill Belichick follows up on that. I mean, this Patriots defense is the best defense in the league. They're like top 5 in literally every category on defense. You name it, they're top 5. And it's likely that they're top 1 or 2. So I think Minnesota will struggle against this defense. And I just think that the Patriots will do just enough to get the job done. Although I don't, the Patriots are they have their offensive struggles, obviously, only scoring 3 points against the Jets. But I think they're going to do enough. I think the Vikings are going to go on a little bit of a skid here. And then I think Scott thinks they'll probably rebound on the road here, which certainly could happen. Vikings, we'll see. This is kind of a test, I think. Is it the same Vikings that we've seen in years past, or is it the new Vikings, right? The same Vikings would lose this game, would choke, Kirk Cousins primetime. That would be the old Vikings. The new Vikings would take this game, turn it around, and win it. So we'll see. I think this is going to be a real test for them. And we're going to find out even more about the Vikings this week. So there's all 3 of our Thanksgiving games. And, I just thought I'd get that out today to have our predictions here. And last week, Scott gained a couple games on me. He went 10 of 4. I went 8 and 6. So he's 4 games behind me. I'm 88-75. He's 84-79. So hopefully I can gain one here with the Patriots. But we'll see. Both over 500, been trending upwards the last couple weeks. So yes, hopefully we get some more games right here this week. So season's heating up. Hope you all have a nice Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football, enjoy the food and the family, and we're going to get that full episode out for you on Saturday. This has been Mark My Words Football Podcast, and we are tuning